Hi, Stuart. I have a question.
Yes.
I'm wondering if you can talk about self-sabotage and procrastination, how to work through these and how to overcome these.
Yeah. I, I talk about this a lot. Look, the way to overcome procrastination is the will, the desire to have a spiritual life. And if you have that will and desire inside where it's primary, it really goes before just about anything else. Your need to do this will enable you to work through any kind of obstruction. The power inside you. I mean, it's like people when they get obsessed with money and power and, all this stuff that goes on, politics, and that need is so strong inside them that they can literally fight their way through any obstruction to attain something which is a complete illusion. That same internal need, never mind internal, because the way to the politics is it's external need, but that same need can be applied within ourselves to overcome all the resistance and the things that interfere with, and obstruct our growth. And when we get that kind of need, you understand? I mean, it really builds inside us a system that is strong enough to be able to connect with a higher energy in the universe. There's no longer self-sabotage. We don't want to hurt ourselves. We don't want to abuse ourselves. We want to do anything but continue this. And what does that growth amount to? Opening the heart, quieting the mind, having a spiritual life, living a more conscious life in the world. But there's always a part of every human being that resists this. Why? I'm not sure. But I know in my life, I've had to overcome that kind of resistance in order to, develop the capacity I've developed in myself to do what I do. Now, that resistance is not negative. You understand? It's just showing you that something in you wants to grow. And then there's something else in every one of us that wants to kill ourselves, that doesn't want to grow, that would rather just level off and procrastinate and, just go adrift in life's currents instead of truly building inside ourselves a system that can get us to God. So, yes, look, in fact, I'm writing Tantra number 38, and a lot of it is about exactly this subject. Overcoming resistance, not accepting Maya, as a substitute for developing the capacity to see what's real and what's an illusion. But it takes guts, it takes work, it takes overcoming the one person, as I always say, who keeps everyone from having a spiritual life, and that's ourselves. We need to overcome our internal resistance. We need to get stronger. And as the chakra system gradually develops inside a human being, it gives you the strength to do this. So it's step by step. It's not easy. I'm not saying this is easy to do. I'm saying this is certainly worthwhile doing because it transforms your life. And it doesn't, substitute for this thing in us that has to live in the world and be successful in the world and have a good life in the world. None of this is in opposition to anything else. Except if we create opposition in ourselves. I don't have time, I can't, how many times I've heard I can't? I'm beginning to feel like Barack Obama. You can, I mean, it's really true. I can't, I got this, I got that, I got a family, I got that. All of it would get deeper and richer if we get more open inside. We can nurture our families in a deeper, more wonderful way if we get open inside. we can, have success in the world and not allow it to drain us of our entire life. Just live it. But the whole thing is overcoming that internal resistance, and every human being has it. I mean, look at in the Bible, Christ went into the desert for 40 days and nights fighting with the devil. What was the devil? That's his resistance, to doing the work of God in the world. The Buddha fasting 40 days and nights in the desert, also trying to break down his resistance. The highest beings that ever graced this world went through stuff like this in order to break down their resistance and become a child of God. So this is very much a part of what it means to be on a spiritual path. Being able to get past the resistance. And instead of saying, I can't, and having 122 complaints about life, we just use everything as a reason to grow. And there's no procrastination. Because if you stop doing it and begin to procrastinate, it becomes habit. And it's so easy to put this off because this ain't easy to do. And it's very easy to put it off and to say, okay, I'll go to class in 2 weeks. I'll sit down and meditate in a month. It doesn't work. And not even to get fanatical about this class. You got to sit down and have supper. You got to eat. This is like dinner. You get energy. Energy is essential. And energy keeps us from procrastinating. Once we take that step that gets us closer to a consciousness of higher energy, and we begin to taste that energy, there's no procrastination. But what you asked, Ben, is indicative of just about every person I've ever met in my life. I've never met anyone who doesn't go through this when they want a spiritual life. I have met a handful of people that were willing to fight their way through it. Most people just kind of give up. And they find 20 reasons to just walk away from doing, whether it's what I teach or someone else teaches, it takes guts. It takes a need that transcends everything else. And what does it do? It makes us less inside so we can be more. So there's more of God flowing through us, spirit flowing through us, higher energy flowing through us and guiding our lives. It's amazing how this works. It amazes me every day living this way. And what is it really for? What do we want in life? We just want to be happy people. This is what everybody wants, And most people think that happiness will come if you manipulate the external world to fit into the way you think it should work. And it never works. You got to do the inner manipulation. You got to work on yourself inside to build a system, that really keeps your heart open. Then you look out at the world and you see the grace of God in everything. Does anyone else have a question? I hope this is clear. I talked a lot about this, but then needs to be talked about a lot. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Ben. Look, Ben, you're doing very well. Just keep working on yourself. I mean it. You know, you have enormous potential in what I teach. So keep working on yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And remember, this too shall, everything passes. All the resistance passes. All the encumbrances pass. All the things you get angry about, they pass. One has to begin to recognize that everything is part of the current of life, and it all passes. The only thing that doesn't pass, is a connection with God. Everything else, born, it lives, it dies. Does anyone else have a question? I have just something I want to throw out. Maybe you all can think about it. In June, I do another retreat, probably around the middle of June. And then afterwards, I would like to take about a month and go somewhere, rent a house. And house has to have Wi-Fi because I won't stop these classes. But I just want to go and maybe in somewhere in Europe, Greece, Italy, southern France, Spain, I don't know. But if something comes up, and you can think of something, I'm open to this, I'm not looking to be a tourist. I'm a terrible tourist. Ask Jennifer, she'll tell you I'm a terrible tourist. I really am. But someplace to go and kind of rest, but teach, maybe write, and just different environment, So if anybody knows of anything and you're having, I'm open to that. I'm really open to it. I don't mind Southern Europe. I like Southern Europe, Italy, France, Spain, Portugal. Greece would be cool. I like Greece a lot. It's a beautiful place. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I can write Tantra 168 in somewhere in Southern Europe. Does anybody else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, thank you. God bless you all. And in all humility, I must say, I say it after every class, you're probably sick and tired of listening to me say this, but you all are my teacher. You all are that thing in me that has to break down to be able to do this. And that's the thing that's getting me closer to God. And I'm just grateful to every single person that comes to this class. God bless you all. There'll be a meditation on today's Tuesday, Thursday. Bless you. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.